Hello and welcome to Spotlight North Carolina Cooperative Extension. I'm your host, Rebecca Benton. North Carolina Cooperative Extension is comprised of two land-grant universities, NC State University and NC A&T State University. We are located in all 100 counties and the koala boundaries. Now today I have with me Meleah Evers. Meleah, thank you for being with us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell the audience just a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Well, I'm the Family Consumer Sciences Agent at Columbus County Cooperative Extension, and I have been there for almost 17 years. And one of the things that I do with Cooperative Extension is teach cooking classes or nutrition and health classes. And today, from one of our curriculums, Cook Smart, Eat Smart, we're going to be doing some salad dressings that you make yourself.
Oh, yummy. I can't wait. It seems like right now it's spring, summer's coming in, and that's really when I enjoy salads the most is during this time. And so making some homemade dressings would probably be cheaper, healthier.
Healthier, definitely. Sure. They don't have the preservatives in them, and they're pretty simple and easy to make and delicious. You know, you don't have to worry about having too much and maybe it going to waste, because these do make small batches. But if you do have some left over, you can store it in the fridge. So that's why I have a mason jar, so that's a good way to kind of store it.
Okay. One of the cool things, I'm looking at your ingredients up here, like I have all this in my house, like all the time.
Pretty much.
So I could, and I think we're making 3 different dressings.
We are making 3 different dressings today. The first one I want to do is an oil-free option that has orange juice and balsamic vinegar, Dijon mustard, and honey. So it's kind of like a sweet and savory, but because it has that balsamic vinegar, it has a real pungent, strong taste. But it is really good. It's one of my favorites. The other that is one of my favorites as well, is probably my absolute favorite, is the raspberry vinaigrette. So it's really good with your spinach and fruity salads, I'll say, with like strawberries and things on them.
That sounds good.
And then we also have a balsamic vinaigrette that we're going to be doing, and that is really a tart salad dressing that calls for balsamic vinegar, olive oil, and Dijon mustard, and a little bit of salt and pepper. So those are really, really simple.
They do seem very simple.
Really simple recipes to do. So let's start out with our orange juice, and we need 1/4 cup of orange juice for this recipe. Do you have the measurement
on that, or do you want me to measure it here?
We can actually just pour it in here.
Okay.
And just go halfway up this line.
All right, let's see if I can not make a mess. I always teach my kids when I measure. Now, do you measure with your heart on this, or do you, measure on this?
It does have a little bit of wiggle room here, so you can measure with your heart a little bit, or if you want to make a little more than what the recipe calls for. Because it doesn't say how many servings this makes, but it does go pretty far because
you don't use. I don't particularly use a lot of dressing on my salads. Maybe 2 tablespoons. I always say, and you may have taught me this, or it might have come from Betty Thompson a long time ago, dress your salad, don't drown it.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Don't drown your salad. And so now we need just 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar.
All right.
Yes. You're being brave over measuring
over the recipe. I've got this. Well, there we go. I don't know. I did make a mess. Hold on.
It's okay. And then
just a little bit.
We need a tablespoon of.
There we go. Didn't hold it.
Dijon mustard.
Okay.
And I didn't shake this one up. It come out a little easier.
Did you take the top? Okay.
I did take the top off of this one. So.
Okay. So not precise, just with our heart.
And
I like it. I like it. Okay.
And we need 2 teaspoons of honey. So this one should
see that size a teaspoon.
A good mess. I probably should let you pour with this one.
I'm going to let you get sticky.
Let's measure a little more over the...
Am I over the hole?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
And one way you can do honey so it maybe doesn't stick to the teaspoon as bad is maybe use a little cooking spray. You can pour that one in.
I can't see it.
Sorry,
like
you're
doing
great. You're doing great. so it doesn't stick to the spoon as bad. It'll slide off a little easier. So that helps sometimes, but of course I didn't bring any.
Well, that was a good tip, though. I didn't know that. So spray it with a little bit of cooking spray, and that way it'll slide out.
A little easier. Okay.
I guess you could do with that without any sticky ingredient.
Yes. All right. So I get a little taste of honey here.
Now that honey come from my bees at my house, so
Oh,
it might be
Yum.
addictive.
I won't use that finger in any other recipe.
Okay. All right. I think everything's in there. So now what do we do?
All right. So what we can do, yeah, we don't. This one doesn't call for salt and pepper, so we're good. So
Okay.
we can place that in the jar, and you can kind of shake it up a little bit and kind of blend our ingredients. And like I said, that's a great way to store it in the fridge if you have some left over. The ones that have the olive oil in them, you will need to probably let them sit out for a little bit before you use them if you do store them in the fridge, because the olive oil will kind of solidify
Oh, okay.
with the other ingredients. So
You kind of have
would
to let
need
it come back to room temperature.
You would have to let it come back to room
Now, would you
temperature.
use this particular dressing? Would you, if you were making a large salad, would you just pull over and toss it, or would you just allow folks to get like an amount, put it on their salad?
The thing about if you have a salad and you dress it, the entire thing, it's not really good after that one
true.
time. So if you allow people to dress their individual, or if you're going to use the entire salad, then yeah, go ahead and you can
Is
dress
that
it
good?
if you would like. Yeah, perfect.
All right.
It's not the most beautiful color, but it is delicious.
I want to smell it.
So,
Like I can smell some of the flavors in it. Okay, it has a sweet yet vinegary,
yes, so it's
smell
kind
to
of
it. Savory but
Sweet.
sweet, like with a little bit of pinch to it or
yeah,
something.
sweet with a little bit of a kick.
There you go. But not a hot kick.
No, not a hot kick, just a spicy kick with
Okay.
that vinegar. All right, so let's look at our raspberry vinaigrette
called-
here, and this calls for 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar.
So I'm going to just ask this because, I mean, raspberry jam is maybe not everybody's jam. Could you use another jam? Could you use another jam? Could you do peach, or could you do...
You probably could. So let's see, we've got 2 tablespoons of your red wine vinegar here.
Or grape. A lot of
You
people...
probably could. One reason why they like the raspberry is they like it with the seeds in
Yeah,
it.
I like the seeds, like the crunchiness of the seeds.
Yeah.
That's why I have raspberry jam at the house, or preserves. But it's not everybody's.
Yeah, it's
you
not
might could-
everybody's jam.
You might could do because strawberry jam has the seeds in it too,
Right.
doesn't it?
So yeah,
Or if you
Just-
had
just
homemade
whatever you
strawberry
have.
Jam. Yeah.
I opened it but didn't take the tab out.
Aha.
Okay, so we need
How much?
1/3 of a cup of olive oil for this
Okay.
recipe.
I really like this measuring tool, the way it's written in here,
Yes.
because it can be very precise. So I might have went over.
The great thing about that one, you can pour it
You
back
can pour
in.
it back. Now, is this one, should you look at this one at eye level, or since it's got that slanted view of it?
You can look at
or
it from the top.
You can look at it from the top. Okay, perfect. I have you the precise amount, ma'am.
Okay, if you will, just pour that in there.
Okay. Okay,
And it looks as if we have just enough jam in here.
perfect.
I'm gonna measure this one with my heart.
Measure with your heart today.
Yes. So let's see if I can get this out. And I have these little whisks that you can whisk, you know, if you do prepare it in the bowls and not in the mason jar.
When I was out shopping yesterday, I seen these at a particular store that you could actually buy them for $1.25.
Ah,
That were the little mini whisk. I was like, that's not a bad idea. That way I don't have to order online or anything like that, like I like to do if I need something in the GF. But these are adorable and very good for
small bowls.
bowls.
Or small kids if you're doing and preparing recipes for them. And this one does call for a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. So I'm just going to put a dash of salt and a dash of pepper.
But that looks very pretty.
Oh yes, this is a really pretty dish
Oh,
or
let's see if
dressing.
it's sweet smelling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, this smells like sugar in a bottle.
Yeah.
It does smell really nice. Like I would love that on my salad.
All right, so that's
that
our
one there.
raspberry vinaigrette, and then our
Okay.
last one is going to
This is
be a
oil-free.
balsamic
Okay.
vinaigrette, and that is going to be 3 tablespoons of your balsamic vinegar.
Okay.
I'll use this one since I
There you
used
go.
the raspberry or the red wine vinegar in the other one. We won't adulterate. All right, and then we have a 1/2 cup of olive oil, if you will pour.
All right, 1/2 cup. Here we go. I think that's what we had in here last time was olive oil, so we haven't
Yes,
mixed
we're
anything
We're
good.
good.
Okay.
All right, and then we call for, all right,
I can pour it
pour
in.
that in.
As long as I don't pour it or dump it on you, I think we'll be okay.
I think we'll be good. And then we call for a 1/2 tablespoon of the Dijon. So I'm just going to fill that halfway. And then we have a little bit of salt and pepper to taste.
Now, do you have a little bit of salt? That salt was.
Yeah, that
That
was,
was a-
that was a heavy pour of salt, sorry.
That's
It
okay.
came out a little faster than that pepper did.
But now, are there any particular types of salad that you would use this particular dressing with? What would be your recommendations?
If you're just going to be doing a vegetable salad, I think this one would pair very well because this is definitely just going to be your savories. It's not going to be any sweet to this one whatsoever like you would with the orange juice or oil-free one and the raspberry vinaigrette. I think those are a little more suited for salads that have fruit on them, depending on what kind of flavor profile you're kind of going for.
Okay.
And so, like I said, if you do have, it doesn't make a gracious, plenty, but it does make, enough
If you
for
had
probably
a family of,
about 4 to 8. You could probably get by depending on how
that
much.
reminds me of. This is going to sound crazy because it doesn't smell like pickle juice, but that sourness that you
Probably the
smell when you have
vinegar.
pickles. So yes,
Yeah,
I think I
so
would like
that
that
would be really
recipe
good,
as
like
well.
with some Italian kind of salads or with Italian food, because it is very savory.
Yes. Speaking of other foods, have you ever used any of these dressings in addition to foods, like using them for? I think we talked last time a little bit about marinades, but could these equal as a marinade for some things?
Oh, absolutely. You could definitely use, like, especially the oil-free dressing or the balsamic vinaigrette, like you would a store-bought dressing to season chicken or other meats that you're going to grill or bake. So you could use these because they are closely related to our marinades that we made. You could add some other herbs and spices to them as well, and kind of dress them up as you would like. So.
All right. Tell me, we got just a little time. Tell me quickly the benefits of these recipes.
Well, you can control how much, pretty much sugar or salt you put in these dressings over, and even fats, how much you put in versus what you buy if you buy a store-bought dressing. Like I said, they usually come with a lot of sodium or a lot of sugar in them, and other preservatives to help make them shelf stable. So you don't have as much control over what you buy, but you do have a little more control over what you prepare when you prepare your own dressings.
I love that the ingredients are things I normally have in my house. How long would this, let's say a family of 4, I used half of it, how long would it stay in my refrigerator?
You could probably keep it in your refrigerator safely for about a month. I wouldn't keep it probably over that, but I mean, as little as you make, you probably could use it a lot faster than that.
Okay. Well, Meleah, I just want to say thank you so much for being on this episode of Spotlight North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Everybody in the audience, thank you for joining us. Go home, make these recipes, or while you're at your home, make them. Try them. Let us know what you think. You can always contact us at North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Our number is 910-640-6605. Have a great day.